with our guest, Dr. D.يسري Abushadi, former International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA Chief Inspector. Welcome again. So with us in Egypt, and what have you to say about things here first?
I am very much pessimistic about natural gas and oil, and I feel we should plan our future not based on this important source of energy, but to go to really the new energy and renewable energy. I see now the government is going ahead really in these two branches with respect to the new energy, which means mainly nuclear. I see there is already an agreement happened and contract already with Russia to go ahead for 4 reactors. On the other hand, I see really the government is now establishing with the private sector many projects related to the solar energy and wind energy. I think that is really the future. With respect to the natural gas and oil, we have a lot of uses for this rather than just to use them for power station or to burn them really for that. There are many applications, or especially the petrochemicals and others, and I hope really that Egypt is going really toward the nuclear and renewable energy with a fast speed.
And concerning the nuclear security conference that you assisted in, what do you see
yeah, that will be actually this week with the Egyptian Council of Foreign Affairs and Bigwash Group, together with American universities. They are making a conference related to the nuclear security and how we can, 2 points actually, how we can fight nuclear terrorism, which is a possibility exists, and in the meantime really how we can fight terrorism on the level of a state. It's not always just a group of terrorists. And when I mean that, I mean really that because there is not all states in the world already members of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And we see strongly in the Middle East, we tried since the ages actually to have a nuclear-free zone in the Middle East, never succeeded, never have even a hope to succeed. So that conference will discuss what's a possibility, other possibility than the traditional political methods, that to say Israel should sign, or we have to force Israel to sign, because this will not work. It's already didn't work for the last 50 years, and I don't think really it can be continued. So that meeting will have several proposals. I personally have one of these proposals. I will present it in that meeting, and I hope really people will discuss it with logic.
Can you talk to us about the proposal you're just presenting?
I will not go into too much detail, but I am the only, I can give you 2 hints really, that I will not follow the traditional political method that we submit always a resolution in whether really the General Conference or United Nations or whatever, to say Israel should sign, Israel should do, because this will not happen. United States is defending Israel very strongly, and we know this will not work. So we had to go into more realistic points. One of the realistic points is that to get Israel together with Egypt and Iran in the Middle East to ratify the CTBTO treatment that forbid any state to make any nuclear test explosion. That's something important, I think, for us and for others, because we don't have weapon. The only state have nuclear weapon is Israel. So when it is forbidden to make a test for that weapon, that's something positive. So I think this point is one of the points is positive. Second is really to try with Israel to say, you have your own nuclear weapon. We shall not force you today to give up that. But at least tell us and tell the whole world, what do you have as nuclear facilities? Maybe they can accept.
Any kind of you know, well, tests or anything like that, you know. You're talking about, you know, in your paper or, you know, your proposal about the Middle East only, or just say, you know, like general?
Yeah, let's clarify really. There are 5 known weapon states have formally right to have a weapon, nuclear weapon, which is the US, Russia, China, France, and UK. There are another 4 states not formally approved as a nuclear weapon state, which is India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. 2 of them, we always say they balance each other, India, Pakistan, but the other 2 are not balanced actually. North Korea is a big threat in the Far East, yes. And Israel is a big threat in the Middle East.
Yes.
Now, what is the status of this nuclear weapon? Are the world is going really continue with this nuclear weapon? That is actually in contradiction to the Treaty of Nuclear Proliferation, Non-Proliferation, because it was stated really that all nuclear weapon has to be reduced first and be eliminated. Unfortunately, it did not put a time limit for that. So till today, still it's reduced, yeah, but it's still maybe 16,000 head of nuclear weapons still exist. So how we can solve this problem? Now there is a new initiative called Humanitarian Initiative. It started really from basically Western countries. Started in Austria. It was at the beginning called the Austrian Initiative. Now it's called Humanitarian Initiative. It have about 150 states. All of them really are gathered to press the weapon state to give up the weapon. I think one of the very strong states with that is Japan, because it is the only country really suffered really from nuclear weapon.
Yes.
Other states as well. And that is why, in my proposal, I would not highlight as a first condition on Israel to give up its nuclear weapon, because in any way nuclear weapon eliminated on the global world. So when actually this initiative will work at the end, and at the end they have to, the big countries, to put a time-wise, say after 10 years, such a nuclear weapon should be eliminated from the whole world. Then Israel is included in that. There is no way really that Israel will be exempted while United States, Russia, and others are eliminating their nuclear weapon. So that's
why. Would it
why.
be forced then, you know, if something like this happens, to eliminate its weapon? Although, you know, we see that, you know, like always, the state, you know, the United States, well, protects it to death, you know.
Israel, but it will not be able to protect itself when this now initiative, humanitarian initiative, is going to have a very strong support from the whole people in the world. And I believe strongly, really, in just 1-2 years, it will be very strong, because they will just say, I need a time. Give me, say, 10 years, 20 years, give me a time that all these nuclear weapons should be eliminated. In this case, it will include all others, not only the big 5, but all others. That's why I see, let's not to insist, okay, we have the right to say that, but we know it will not work. As you said, the U.S. is a very big supporter to Israel. It really failed the whole resolutions in United Nations. So we shouldn't really continue in this logistic way. We go in more other way.
Realistic, as you said.
Yeah, more realistic approaches, and let's hope really that Israel will at least listen to some points.
Iran and the states, you know, and about, you know, like going, you know, for inspections, or, you know, the stories that we heard, and now, you know, like that they have an agreement, all that. What happened in the whole story? Now, is America kind of satisfied? Is Iran satisfied? Or this is, you know, like, you know, sometimes they were writing things like, you know, like, hey, you know, we just, you know, fooled Americans, or things like that, you know, that we hear on and off. You know, you never know where the truth is.
No, I think really that this agreement, Iran and the others agreement, nuclear agreement, is a very important agreement, and actually it stabilized Iran and maybe stopped its actually accumulation of sensitive nuclear material. Iran was very close to produce material for one weapon every week if this agreement didn't start. So basically it is a very positive point for all states in the whole world. I know really some states in the Gulf do not like Iran or even Egypt also or others, but let's really split between really the agreement and the conditions included in the agreement and whether it is for our sake of supported or not. I think really it is well done. The IAEA inspectors are there. There is about maybe at least 15-20 persons from IAEA every day there. The agency controlling all nuclear facilities in Iran. Iran stopped on a lot of advanced program, especially in the enrichment, accumulation of material. We hear today really that America will buy 32 tons of heavy water that Iran was producing, which was very serious, because if Iran continue in that direction, they were able really to produce not only heavy water, but plutonium for weapon, as Israel did actually. So I think the agreement is well done. It's going on in its right direction under the observation and control of the IAEA and the inspectors there. I don't see any violation to anything, except some complaint from Iran that US is very slow in removing all sanctions. Okay, that something will come really. It's not that old agreement really. But I think it was a positive thing really, and I think the IAEA should continue to keep an eye on Iran.
But do you think that's really, they really meant to produce a nuclear bomb if they just went on like that? Because they kept saying, we are just only doing, we're not doing that, we're not going to do this, they just, we use it, we use, that, like for something else, so it's not peaceful.
Sure, there are open questions, definitively, really, that no one reached it, but you can't know really what is in the heart of the other. But sure, factually, yes, there were few things strange, like this heavy water reactor, Arak reactor that was now replaced by another. That reactor using the heavy water was able to produce quite amount of plutonium for weapon. That's meant really for weapon. That's exactly similar to Daimuna reactor in Israel.
Exactly, it's like this is equal to that. Why not then,
reactor in India.
Yes.
So that was why you need that actually. That was one question really. The other question is the development of the enrichment and reaching high level of enrichment degrees. And also the talk of Iran that we need to have highly enriched uranium, over 90%, because we have a plan for ship, for submarine, something really not normal. So it looks like a kind of a good excuse, but we did not, or we, I mean really the IAEA and the other world, the whole world, did not detect any real violation or real program for nuclear weapon. The United States say it was before 2003. Okay, nobody sure about that, but at least really for now there was no nuclear.
The problem is the United States said lots of things, said things about Iraq, said and they were just turned out to be all kind of not true. I'm not going to say lies, but then it resulted in now well, Iraq, like being in this state, and then a great war and killing lots of civilians, and now, it's not in a good state, like now, it's like being torn apart.
That is intelligence sources, Western intelligence sources played a lot of roles, not only in Iraq and Iran, but also in Syria, in North Korea, actually in also Libya, in a way, and in Egypt also. So, yes. Intelligence sources try to play games like this, but we did not find anything in Iran or in Iraq after 91. Before 91, yes, but after 91, there was nothing. North Korea, actually, it was the American who let the North Korea to go for a weapon. Before that, it was under our control, IAEA control. We were inspecting them. They have, in my assessment, very scientific assessment, they have nothing. But the American create all this story with its intelligence sources, saying that they are producing at the moment when they did not produce anything. But after they kick us out and withdraw from NPT, they produce now 4 nuclear weapons, and they will continue, actually.
It's like you kept saying this about us. Okay, we'll just make it a real reality and we'll produce, one big, thing.
That's right.
But then you're like, would that, okay, if you like, Iran, for example, got a nuclear bomb, then, that would be just, would that create kind of balance in the Middle East? Because why?
Very bad balance, I would say.
Well, it's bad balance, but then it will deter others from...
Iran is very much involved in the politics of all other Arabic states around it. Do you think really we shall be happy when we see really Iran has a bomb? Is it the Iran bomb will be used for Israel or threatened to use for Israel or maybe Saudi Arabia or others?
Yeah.
No, I don't think really we should... think that it makes a balance like India and Pakistan. I think in the Middle East is quite different. There is a lot of different political views, and we should really still continue against Israel as the only state having a nuclear weapon, but in a logistic way, not as, no, you should give up. It will not happen.
Yeah.
Give up.
Yeah. And so how do you see, when you travel, you come, how do you see, every time, when you, how do you perceive the changes here, scientifically speaking? No,
I'm just worried about one thing, I should be frank, really, that is the Egyptian pound, really. Because that I deal with it, really, every time I come, it go in less than 2 years, something from £7 to now over £11. That's something worried really us really, and I hope it is temporary and it will not continue like this because it's very basic. Any increase, continuation in that direction will be reflected on the whole people.
Would you be reflected? But how do you see, this increase, affecting the people? How do you
I think really this because steps for new project was very high, and I think Egypt went into to apply and introduce a very high project like new canal Suez and others, which required really a high budget from the foreign currency. That probably was not balanced well. The budget here. So it's a problem, really need a good economist to really manage really very well the budget. Otherwise, really, it will be a very big or serious problem in the near future. Yeah.
Would you say that we have, a problem in management?
For the economic, it looks like. It looks like, really, that's why we see also changes of the head of the central bank. I hope really with the government and now the pressure of the parliament that a new policy in that regard to balance, to find a solution really. Because now where are we going really? Every day we hear increase, that's quite a lot really. It should be stopped and going back to normal and see what's really happening. Yeah.
How do you see the near future regarding...
I'm still hoping really that the president and his team think mostly about young people and to find jobs for them. I think Egypt is ready to do that. Yes. They can do that, but it needs a planning. But I hope next time when I come, I wish really to see really that the dollar going back to 7 or 8 pounds. Yeah.
Dr. Yusri Abushadi, thank you very much for being with us.